Hello everybody, I have a new video for you all. This video is going to cover the quoting process in Salesforce. Now, in my experience, working with several projects over the years and also supporting customers that have used Salesforce for multiple years, the quoting process has been a challenge for some, simply because, probably for a few reasons. They never had a clear quoting process because all of it was being done on a Word document or Excel, and everybody was doing it their own different way, their own way. So they never had a clear process. And in addition to that, another problem was around approvals. There were no clear rules around what should be approved, what doesn't need to be approved. And another thing that was a challenge for the quoting process, and this is specifically for those who had been using Salesforce for a while, is the ability to create quotes quickly, efficiently, and also create versions of that quote as well. Because they wanted to keep the history of their versions of quotes, because there's some opportunities or some deals that could go on for several months, and a lot of negotiations that occur, especially with deals that are millions and millions of dollars. So I created a process, I implemented a process that really helped with creating that initial quote easily and sending it out to the customer, and also creating versions of that quote efficiently. So let me go ahead and jump into this example, and we're looking at this opportunity. This opportunity came from a lead conversion, and I did this lead conversion in a previous video. So if you click in the upper right hand corner, you can see that video. This is with Bertha. She contacted me a few days ago. I converted her. Now we have an opportunity. I inputted some placeholder or generic products just to hold a value, because I wasn't sure what product she needed. And today I called her to get some more information about what she was interested in. So after that call, I was able to nail down what products that she wants, that we need to quote for her. So I'm going to go ahead and click this button, add 2 line items, and I'm going to go ahead and put in the real products, and I'm going to remove these placeholders in just a second. Let me just put 0 as the discount, remove this. Okay, so I removed the placeholders. I have the 2 real products, and normally we give Bertha 20%. Not normally, she's a new customer. We give our new customers 20% all the time, just as an example. So let me click save. So now the amount of our opportunity is almost $500,000. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and move this to value proposition, okay? Now, every stage, and every business is different, every stage you can tell your salespeople to do a certain thing, right? Have a list of activities. So I don't have that set up in this demo, but you can do that. Every company has different activities they need to complete, to guide the salesperson. So I am ready to send Bertha a quote. Now, I told her I would give her a quote in the next 10 minutes. And with what you just saw, it was quick for me to add products, and now I'm going to create a quote. Here's my quote record. Here are the line items that came from the opportunity. If we go back to the opportunity really quick, you'll see that the stage went from value proposition to quotation, so the stage was updated. And you can also see the product list tab has disappeared. I'm leveraging dynamic tabs on the Lightning web page. So because there's a quote, we're no longer adding and updating line items from the opportunity. Why? Because we've moved forward. We've moved on to the quote. Now, you don't have to do that as a business. I just normally do that just to help the salesperson know where to focus. They're focusing now on the quote part of this deal. So we have our product list right here, and we're at the draft stage. The overall discount for this opportunity is 20%. I don't have a submit for approval button, so it doesn't need to be approved. So I can just put presented. And when I move to presented, I haven't had this built yet, but we would have a button come up here and say generate PDF. And the generate PDF would give a preview of the quote. And then you click another button and it would email that quote PDF to Bertha. Now, let's just pretend I did that. I presented. Now I'm waiting to hear back from Bertha. She comes back to me and says, you know what? Thanks for the quote, but I need like 50% off. Can you do 50% off on each line item? Okay, well, let me see. So I can click clone with line items. I can give this a name, go to new quote. So here is my second version of the quote. Now I want to pause there. I have cloned the first version of the quote. It looks exactly the same. And you can see this is the version 2 of the quote. That was quick. I just simply had to click this button right here. Actually, let me do it again. Version 2, let's just say version 3. Next. Let's go to the third one. So, if I go to the opportunity and hover over this related list, you will see I quickly created 3 versions of a quote. We know the first one is the primary one because it's the one that's synced to the opportunity, while the other 2 are not primary because they're not synced. Let's go to the second version. Let me heavily discount these. I'm going to save this. I don't know if you saw it, but the submit for approval button appeared. So now I need to submit this for approval before I even get to presented, because if I'm not at presented, the generate PDF button won't appear. Okay. So let me go ahead and submit this for approval. Let's say the manager approves it, but the sales director rejects it. Okay? Now that it's rejected, I want to keep this history. I don't want to remove this version of this quote. I just want to know that it's rejected. So I can go to, let's just go back to the opportunity. Let's go to the third version. Okay? So I was 50% was a rejection. So let's say 40% for these items. Okay. Okay, it still needs to go for approval, this third version. Okay, submit. It's in review. Oops. Let's approve this one. The sales manager will approve. Okay, it only needed 1 level of approval because of the rules that I have for the approval process. So it's been approved. I'm going to move it to presented, and I'm going to send her the PDF. Now, let's say Bertha gets back to me and says, hey, the second line item, you put a quantity of 5. I meant a quantity of 10. Now, if I'm being a salesperson, well, the problem with that is this record. It's locked because it's been approved. Now, if I need to make just a small little change to an approved quote, I can unlock this quote. So if I click this unlock button, I can give a reason why I'm unlocking it. Okay, so need to update the second line item from, need to update the quantity for the second line item from 5 to 10. next. Now I have unlocked this quote, and as you clearly can see, it went from approved to draft. Sorry, it went from presented back to draft. And I have my little reason right here. So let me go ahead and update this. So the record is unlocked. I saved. And now I'm going to submit for approval again. Submitting for approval again because I need to change from 5 to 10. Just as an example, just so the manager can see what I did. So if I go here, you can see my little notice here. The sales manager can see it, even right here. Unlock reason, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and approve this. Let's go back to the quote. So it's approved. I'm going to move it to presented. And I go through that process again of generating the quote, sending it off to Bertha, and she likes it. She likes the quote. She wants to move forward with the quote. So I'm going to go ahead and move this to accepted. Oh, I have an approval, a validation rule. This needs to be synced because I want my opportunities to be accurate because my opportunities are part of my pipeline. So we're going to mark this as accepted. Then we're going to go back over here to the opportunity, and it was moved to closed one. And if I again go back to the quote, this is the accepted one. Okay, so, and then we have this create order button right here. Okay, now again, I'll do a video in the future about the order, creating an order, but I just want to summarize what you just saw here. So we started with an opportunity. We replaced the placeholder products, and we added actual products. Then we created our initial quote, easily created it. We presented it to Bertha. She didn't like it, and we created multiple versions of the quote. Went through approval processes, and it was clear, the process. Now, of course, every company will have their unique processes, and it's not going to match exactly what I showed you here. But again, the idea is you can build this process on the Salesforce platform. You can efficiently and easily create versions by simply clicking a button like this and leveraging screen flows to help your salespeople create versions quickly, easily, and get quotes out the door faster.